Welcome to Spreadsheets with Dan. So in this video we're going to look at multiplication. We're going to have a look at 3 different examples of how you can use multiplication. We're going to start by doing a formula inside of a cell. We're going to type the numbers in and the multiplication key, and then we're going to do a horizontal or a formula across a row, and we're going to do it 3 times, and then finally we're going to finish with the vertical. So we're going to work down a column and do a multiplication there. So let's jump straight in. What we're going to do is look at each example. We're going to replace everything that's in the blue cells. So we're going to remove them results, and we're going to re-input our formula to replace the value. So I'm going to start by removing these values, and then we can repopulate them. So in this first example, what we need to do is we're going to times 2,500 by 3. So we've got a production volume of 2,500. We have 3 production lines, and what we want to do is create a total value of production volume. So we're going to do equals, and we're going to type 2,500, and then we're going to use the star, which is times, and then we're going to do the number 3. So now it's returned the result of 7,500. If we go back into that cell, what we can see is it says equals 2,500, the star, which is the times, and 3. If we press F2, we can activate the formula. You can see what we've typed in the cell. So that's the first example of doing an in-cell formula. The next one, we're going to do a horizontal formula. So we're going to work across the rows, and we're going to return the result in the column G, and in cell G11. So to do this, we're going to type equals. We're going to select the unit price, which is here. We're going to use the times, and then we're going to select the number of units sold. And we're going to press enter, and that's returned 645. We're going to look at that. We're going to hover back over the G11, and we're going to press F2 so we can look at the formula that we've typed. We can see it says D11 times E11. We can see the D11 is blue, which is indicated by the D11 cell, and E11 is there as well, and that is red. So we can see the formula. If we wanted to retype, we can do that now. Let's repeat that action. So we're going to go to D12, and we're going to press times, and then select E12. We can see it in the cell. If we leave before we press enter, we can see the formula is typed in the cell, and both D and E12 are both highlighted, one with blue, one with red. Press enter, and that's returned 875. Let's do that one more time. We're going to do D13 times E13. Press enter. We can activate the formula. So that's returned 995. Press F2 to see what we've done. That's worked really well. So let's move down to the final example, which is example 3, and we're going to do the same format. We're going to do one number times the other number using but we're going to come down the column. So it works in exactly the same way. We're going to press equals to start the formula. We're going to select the first one, which is number of units sold. We're going to press the times, and then we're going to select the average price. Press enter, and that's returned 2,515. So it's 3 very simple examples of how you could use these formulas. You could, as you are building this foundation, you can start to use these with other formulas at the same time. I think building this foundation now of understanding how you type the formula, how you can activate the cell, and where you can see it is a key fundamental basic that you need to learn. The more you understand this, the easier it will be to build on that. I would recommend that the example 1, the in-cell calculation, is really good if you just want to do some simple multiplication with a small number. But I think that the best is what we've used in the horizontal and the vertical, where you're selecting the cells. That's better, because if there's any errors or you want to jump back in and activate the formula so you can see what you've done, pressing F2, that's really good. Obviously, when you do that, you can see it up in the formula bar, you can see it within the cell, and it also indicates colours. So this would be my preference to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and this is I hope you've enjoyed this video, and this is the final video. I've done addition, subtraction, divide, and finally multiply. The next ones I'm going to move on to some of the more In the next videos, I'm going to move on to some of the functions within Excel. I'm going to start with some of the basics and I'm going to expand through the full list of functions. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope to see you in the next one.